Gonca.
Destina.
Anne Kız.
Unplugged.
Okay, Destina, can I lead today?
Yes, of course. Please do, actually.
Okay, this topic is quite dear to me. It's a milestone for me in my own motherhood. You were 5 or 6 years old. You're in JPS in Dubai, and
Okay.
you are starting to learn to write, maths, this and that. And what happens is you have a very young teacher. The reason why I'm saying this, it's because apparently I just noticed only then that I had a judgment about a teacher being too young.
Oh.
She wasn't a mother. She was a single woman.
Okay.
I never realized actually that I had a judgment. For me, a teacher must be like experienced, like maybe a mother. I didn't know. I didn't have such a definition of a teacher until I had a child and you're in school, right?
Okay.
But she made me realize that actually. One day she calls me to school. You were making numbers from 1 to 10. And the thing is, you were constantly making the 2s the other way around. Like a 2 is like this, but you used to draw a 2 the other way around. And the 5s the opposite way. Like 5 is like this, right?
Yeah.
But you were doing it this way.
Okay.
So I had a struggle at home. I was trying to teach you how to make the 2 and the 5 correctly.
Right.
She sends a note to me. She says, "Can you please come and see me? I would like to talk to you about some subject." And I was like, "Oh, okay, of course." And I go there after my office hours to pick you up. And then we sit in the classroom and she sends you to play. You're waiting for me. And she says, "Not to offend you, but I would like to draw your attention to something." I said, "What is it?" She said, "You know, Destina can make 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9 perfectly well. And she has plenty of time to do the 2s and 5s the right way. Please don't concentrate on the 2 and 5, but rather try to see that she's making the rest perfectly well. It's my job to teach her in the coming years to come to how to make the 2 the right way and the 5 the..." And I'm just like, oh my God.
I'm trying to remember who this was, but
I don't remember her name, but I always remember her.
yeah.
The lesson that she gave me in the most beautiful way.
Right.
And I'm just like, I never thought about this. And she said, "She's such a hard worker. She's such a wonderful little girl. And she's putting such great effort in learning everything. But the more you concentrate on what she's doing wrong, she will lose her confidence."
Sorry, I'm just like, thank you so much to this teacher.
Exactly. I left and I said, "Thank you so much." And then I leave the room, the classroom, and I'm just like, wow, she's not a mom. She's very young. And she's giving me a life lesson right now. I never thought that I was actually concentrating on the 2 tiny little mistakes, which are so cute. And so, like, I was so serious in trying to teach you how to do the right way. I couldn't even cherish the moment where, wow, that's a great 1. 5, like the other numbers.
Yeah.
And I never thought that this was actually playing on your confidence and your relationship with maths.
I was gonna say my relationship maybe to making mistakes.
Yes, that's why I actually wanted to name this episode like the right to make mistakes. And how much do we concentrate on the encouragement part where we do the right things right? And is this really a mistake? Because what she said to me, she has plenty of time to correct this and she will come there.
Well, yeah.
And it's my job, she said.
Also,
She also reminded me that I shouldn't, make my relationship come to that correction,
with me, yeah.
to diminish it to there.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this now when I mention this?
Well, one, I feel so seen by that teacher.
Yes.
I wish I could, I don't know, I wish I could remember that moment. I'm sure it stuck with me in some way. I wish I could remember her name. I really, really do. But that is so, I know, I find that so very protective of her.
Yes.
Very kind, very nurturing.
Very much.
Yeah, I feel, when I hear that now, I feel that maybe little Destina felt like, thank you, you know?
Yeah.
Because I do remember maths specifically being quite a struggle in the house.
Yeah.
And then I do remember, well, also I don't know how to word this, but it's not really like a mistake. You're learning something new. And so focusing on that specific thing when a child is figuring out everything for the first time, you know, it's not really something that I could even class as a, I don't even know what I want to name it, but when I'm like, mistake, it's not even a mistake. It's just.
But from my point of view, it was a mistake. You were doing it wrong.
Well, I was going to say, I think in the house, or at least between, you are such a I don't want to say perfectionist, because I would classify myself as a perfectionist. But you also, for a time, were just very,
Yeah.
I don't know, you liked...
Strict.
Not strict. You just had a certain way that you wanted to do things as well. Mm-hmm. And how you wanted them. And then I think the more I also held on to that, you would then, make sure I stuck to those things. So it was harder. The parameters of making a mistake were tighter. I was able to make mistakes, but they were tighter. And then when I was younger, they were tighter. And then you started to kind of loosen the screws and be like, no, make mistakes, learn from them. But I was like, whoa, now I'm not used to this. And I had already built that.
To unlearn it.
Yeah, I had built that parameter for myself. And I was like, I cannot make this mistake. Or to me, a mistake felt so big. Like I failed in something. And I didn't see it as a way to experience something, because in my head, I was like, oh, I should already know how to do this. I should just know.
And how? No way.
And how.
Yeah.
But I do remember thinking, oh, I can't make I definitely remember feeling stressed about learning maths and stuff in the house sometimes, because I just wouldn't get it. And so we kept going back and forth. That's what came to mind now.
Well, that's very interesting, because she definitely gave me a huge lesson. And then I also, when she said this, like it also took me back to my own childhood, where I was just like, oh, I wish someone had told the same thing for me as well.
Yeah.
Because how do we learn? I mean, from one generation to another, I mean, we pass on what we know. My parents most probably have been corrected for the mistakes they have made nonstop, most probably, or it was a huge thing to make such a mistake. And for me, that was also not acceptable, not to get it the first time, or just, and everybody's working. So there's a lot of stress going on, and the homework is another episode subject for us. I definitely want to talk about it.
Okay.
But when she said that, it was just like, I suddenly had like a kind of a feeling of a mourning for my childhood, where mistakes were huge things, and how much did it restrict me in trying things. I went to the other extreme, where I was too courageous, too bold to try things. That's also another problem.
You were trying to test your limits of how
far I can go, and just without even thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, so too many mistakes maybe that could have been avoided in that sense. On the other hand, I had never considered that this could also play in our relationship. Like, I mean, how can I, for example, demolish the beautiful relationship that we have, or we can have, by just 2 is looking left, 5 is looking right. I don't know. You should have to choose your fights, when you're a child and a parent.
I also think,
is it worth really fighting over that?
Yeah, certain things for sure. And I think, the definition of mistake and failure changes over time. and is defined differently. For example, maybe at that time you were thinking, the 2 and the 5. But then later on, I'm just thinking even small things, or I don't know, whether it be I'm late to somewhere or I misunderstood something, then those started becoming, big mistakes, or maybe I said the wrong thing, or I asked the wrong question, or I didn't wake up on time. Like as I grew up, there were different. Right? It definitely adds, and there was different pressures. I think that once these things were set, and once maybe I felt like, oh, I can do this, and I don't make mistakes. Then I started to make other mistakes in different ways. And then when, we'd have maybe a few fallouts over that, I just remember feeling the pressure of not wanting to make mistakes. I do think it added to a bit of my perfectionism for sure. And because I don't mind making mistakes now at all. I think I have a better relationship with failing. And I think it's necessary. And I think I have a way softer understanding of it. But for a long time, and you and me really struggled about this, because I needed everything to be done so well.
How much do you think that this, for example, the 2s and the 5s correction time might have added as a percentage to this?
I don't know,
The impact, the outcome, I don't know.
Well, maybe it built a bit of a foundation between you and me, and how I might anticipate your reaction, or when I do something, a pattern of what mom might look out to. So maybe it was that, but then you started to get a bit more lax with things, and I was like, whoa, now it's fine. And then you were more encouraging of, no, go fail, go mistakes. And I was like, okay, now I need to make a mistake. Like,
see, this teacher is actually, like I told you, she's a milestone, and that's not the only example. She called me another time.
Oh.
And I was just like, oh my God, what is this time? So I go there for a second time, and then she says, not to offend you, but she said, Destina is a very creative girl. She is such a playful girl with a lot of imagination, and she's very actually creative in her drawings and stuff. I said, yes. And then she said, so I think you should also allow her not to color inside the box. And I was like, oh my God. Because there was this thing, you have your coloring books.
Wait, can I interrupt? I actually do remember when we do colorings together and how I'd be coloring, let's say it's a flower, right?
Yeah.
And you want it to be, I don't know, let's say white in the middle, and you want it to be blue on the outside. And I'm like, no, but I want it to be green. And I remember picking green. You're like, no, Destina, what if we do it blue? And I'm like, but I want it green. And you're like, no, but try blue. And I was like, but I want it green. And I remember.
See, for example, for me, who has been a very creative child, where my teachers used to call my parents and say, oh my God, she has such an imagination. And I'm a writer, right?
Yeah.
So I have my own imagination world. I never realized that I actually was poking into your zone and disturbing it. And then she tells me, she said, I don't think that Picasso ever had to think that he had to color or use certain patterns for, coloring. And he wouldn't be Picasso. He is today, he made triangular faces, and that's what made him Picasso. So can you please stop telling her that she should color in the box?
I love this teacher.
And I was like, oh my God, why did I even say that? She said, no, she's drawing beautiful, and she has a totally different one. And I was just like, I said, what am I doing? What am I doing? Where am I at this? And me, who allowed you, for example, for your second birthday, to call your friends, to allow all of you to paint the wall the way you wanted.
Yeah.
From there, because now you're in school and school is serious, there must be some rules and things that we need to obey. Suddenly, I became this other personality when school started. So she really kicked me in the butt and said, leave her alone. And I was just like, oh my God, yes. And from that day onwards, no more color in the box Destina.
Yeah. But it's funny because now I'm thinking, even when even, when I paint and when I draw,
Yeah.
you know this about me. It's so particular.
Yeah.
And I don't like it to be messy. And if it is messy, I don't do it now, but a few years ago, even just a few years ago, if I messed something up, I would literally have an argument with myself about how I had to start over again. And
But
how
that's
I
something.
couldn't waste
That's something else because
No,
when you
find
were
it
a
similar.
child, you were not messy at all, Destina.
No,
Like
I
when
don't
in
mean
your
messy.
things.
I'm just saying, like, I felt that I had to restart almost. That it
Okay,
wasn't.
See, that has to do with the 2 and 5, I guess.
Do you think? I don't know.
I don't know.
I need to think about this. I don't know. Interesting, Mama.
So yeah, that was the 2 big lessons I had with her. On the other hand, her 2 big lessons that she gave me served us another example. Then I went to the other extreme, of course, me being me.
Yeah.
Next year, I guess, we're in the classroom and there was this tradition in the school where they sometimes call in the parents to be in the class together with everyone. We read something or we're just there to help the teacher. So of course, like every parent, I also raised my hand and I said, okay, I'll be there, and I come. And you had a homework. You did your homework by yourself. We didn't help you at all. It was your responsibility and you did it perfectly well. Then we're in the classroom. All the kids are showing their homework. Oh my God, it was like designed by architects. And I'm just like, and these kids are getting those stickers, well done stickers.
Yeah.
And you showed yours, which is, oh my God, like creepy if you compare to the other parents.
Creepy.
But yeah, there's a huge difference when a 6-year-old makes a homework by herself and when the parents makes it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I could have done it as well. I could have called architects to do that beautiful thing, like the accomplishment. Oh my God, you showed yours and yours is like really not like the other ones. And the other ones cannot be done by kids. Believe me. No, Destina.
Okay.
And then I was just like, hey, teacher. And I raised my hand. I said, I think these kids here who have done their homeworks by themselves. I did. They deserve the stickers with the stars. But the parents should be called in to tell, hey, this was the child's response. And of course. And she was like, yeah, actually you have a point. But she was a nasty teacher. I really didn't
So it
like
wasn't
her.
the same teacher?
No. That was totally the next year. So taking this courage from the other teacher who gave me that, kick in the butt and made me feel like, oh my God, no, I need to, step in and allow my child. And I remember your eyes shining that moment, which, when I left, I cried to Destina. I said, oh my God, I did something good. Because it was the child's effort who should be appreciated and seen.
Yeah.
Right? However that is. Because otherwise, your effort was not appreciated, seen, or then you should let me do all the homework.
Yeah.
That was a big thing for me. That teacher actually made me step up for something that was so precious as well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's wonderful.
So that is actually something that I would never forget. And of course, I never did the mistake with Aslanjan, for example. That was a big lesson learned for me.
First child.
So I was just always curious. Did these little things maybe made you feel like step back rather than making a mistake in trying something?
Perhaps. I didn't know these examples.
So how does it feel to hear this now?
It feels sweet and fun. I find it enjoyable. I also, maybe it feels a few because I'm quite introspective and I really like to look back and think, and I'm like, oh Mom, do you think this happened because of this and whatnot? Yeah. And so maybe these are a few puzzle pieces that I have yet to place, and maybe, but it's so young. So I don't necessarily remember any of these things that you said, but I do remember how I just really, really disliked and how uncomfortable I felt about the potential of even making a mistake.
Yeah.
Which also, it makes me make more mistakes when I am so precautious about not wanting to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And then I end up doing the things that I don't want to do.
See, that's because of me.
Mom, I am my own person as well. It's not, I don't want to.
No, yeah.
But no, so when you say these things, I guess I'm going to go home tonight and think about it a little bit more.
Okay, so what do you think that this might open?
Open between you and me?
Between me and you, and maybe for the listeners, I don't know.
What will this open? Maybe it definitely feels like it opened your kind of
Definitely.
mirror to how you face mistakes.
Yeah.
And then I think you took a second and really was able to reflect on how you wanted to impose that in me.
Yeah.
Or find different ways so that it's not the same as you experience at home.
It made me more compassionate, understanding, and
Yeah,
soft.
I think it's just this, I mean, I don't even know if permission is the right word to make mistakes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just...
It's a right.
Yeah, I think I'd say it's our human right to be able to make mistakes and, not that I stand by some of my mistakes, but to be able to own up to them, make them, is important to really grow. And so the more I also limit myself and don't want to make mistakes, I think it then limits possibilities and opportunities to understand myself better, to understand things that I like, things that I don't like. And so maybe in those, the more it was kind of constrained, the more I didn't have that opportunity as much,
Yeah.
but now it opens that possibility.
Yeah,
But I
that's
make a bunch
nice.
of mistakes, I'd say.
Yeah, and if you think about it, I mean, a 5-year-old or a 65 years old, I mean, like 5 times 12, 60 months on this earth, and then we're just talking about mistakes. It's such an innocent thing. I mean, I was just thinking, I mean, as an adult, I mean, as a parent, I mean, how serious can you be on a 2 and a 5? Come on. She was great. I wish I could remember her name. Really, I remember her, how she was with her skirt and flip-flops.
You never know, maybe we could find her.
I don't know. I hope one day she can hear this, somehow.
Send an email.
Yeah, that would be so great. I mean, yeah, I think that's it.
That was sweet. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Okay, bye. This is Yonca.
This is Destina.
Anne Kız Unplugged.